Here's the final look underneath the radiator with all the zip ties applied. So it's a nice little bundle here. Nothing is going to go crazy getting the fan or getting near the belt. And there's no major heat sources here except other hoses. And this one wobbling a little bit. If I can find some type of fixed strap, metal strap, I'll probably see what I can do. This is coming down off the auxiliary cooler. I might try to do something here, but otherwise I think we're good. This one strut here I'm not too happy with either, but that might be a future fix. Yep, we're good. Well, I have no idea at all how much transmission fluid I need to replace. So I probably put in about, maybe a quart and a half. And I'm just letting it settle, see if it shows up on the dipstick at all. Of course, obviously, I know you're supposed to check it after it's been warmed up, flat, even ground, etc. But, you know, I'm just trying to get it in there enough to drive it. I picked up this Coastal Dexmerk from NAPA. A little bit less expensive than the name brands. And that's fine with me. It's a 97 F350 XU hull. And I'm pretty sure that that transmission fluid is going to be fine for all of my needs. So I'm just waiting for it to settle right now. And I tell you, you just can't get rid of this sand. Everything you touch has sand on it. A small gust of wind comes up, sand. I've had to clean every single tool, every funnel I've got, every time before I use it, because I swear that freaking Florida sand just gets everywhere. So just waiting, like I said, for it to settle. We'll be back. All right, well, I just ran it for about, I don't know, 6 to 10 minutes checking for leaks, and all of my fixes are good, with the exception of a new leak. And I can see the hose that's cracked right there. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see the drops obviously, but just to the right of that drop is the hose starting to give way. And this is a hose that's going from the forward feed to the filter. It looks like a standard hydraulic hose, but of course it has to be in the worst possible position because I just used it to zip tie my other fixed lines. So it goes through there, it comes up here, comes around, and then it goes to the top of the filter. All right, well, there's another line I've got to fix. It's that top one there, top here, it's this one, and then there. So I got to pull that one off down and get that replaced. Luckily, I do believe that NAPA has a supplier for hydraulic lines that they can just either use the original fittings and replace the hose, or they'll build a new hose. I'm looking at the second one now. Actually, it looks all right. Looks like it might have been replaced. It's quite dirty though. I'm gonna have to clean them both up, but obviously the exhaust is very hot. And I've got fluid coming out of the muffler. And I think this is just where, not muffler, but exhaust. I think that is where I had the original leak, and it sprayed and collected inside. Now that I've heated it up because I've been running it, it's smoking a bit, burning off all the excess transmission fluid that got sprayed everywhere. But all my fittings are leak proof, so we're good. Now just fix one more. We'll be back. Well, here's the aftermath. 3 metal lines and then 2 hydraulics. The hydraulic lines came from moving the transmission fluid from the transmission through the filter and then back to the feed line that was going up to the radiator. And this right here was leaking. Hopefully you can see that in the light that I have here. And I mean, they were completely black when I took them off. I cleaned them up so I could see what was going on and what type of line I needed. But they're both going to get replaced. I'm not going to just replace one because they're both the same age. So the other one's probably going to go soon. And then this was the line from the bottom of the transmission to the auxiliary cooler. Then this was the return line from the auxiliary cooler back to the transmission. And then this was the transmission, I call it the feed line, coming from this end, which came from the filter, attaching to here. Nope, that's the radiator. Attaching to this end, which I cut off, and then going up to the radiator. So here we are. Now I just have to head down to NAPA tomorrow and see what they can do about those hydraulic lines. Of course, I'll browse online and see what I can find, but I'm not going to have much faith. Might be a matter of just having them built. So we got two brand new hydraulic lines going from the transmission to the inline filter and back to the feed line to the radiator. These were made at NAPA while I waited. They just took the old ones, went in the back, cut some hose, put new fittings on it, and shabam, they're there. I was kind of amazed that they had that capability. And it wasn't terrible. I mean, 8 feet of line, because these are 4 feet each, was $35. Then the fittings ranged from $5 to $19. For some reason, this one right here, I think, was the $19. Regardless, it was definitely better than trying to order something on the internet and possibly getting something wrong and having to play the return game for a while. As you can see, it's 3/8 by 4800 psi, but it connects to the 5/16 flare for the feed line to the radiator. Then the other ends just connect to the inline filter, and then the 90-degree angle here connects to the transmission itself in the front on the E40D. Alright, we got the new lines in. This is the feed out from the front of the transmission. Goes to the filter, then it returns back to the feed line going to the radiator, top of the radiator for cooling. NAPA did a good job. All the fittings are correct, and everything fit just as it was supposed to. So we'll top it off again and run it again and check for leaks again. We'll be back.